few seconds. So, hi everybody, I'm Mary and I am going to be teaching yoga with you today. I've been practicing yoga since 2013, so when I was 13, I started practicing yoga with my dad, and yeah, it's been really good for me, and I found it really helpful and was really good at like distressing, like when I had loads of exams and whatever. But yeah, I'm currently studying in Trinity. I'm studying computer science and French. So with exams and whatever, it's pretty stressful and whatever, but yeah, I find yoga really helpful. And I did my yoga teacher training course last summer, so over COVID, because I was like, might as well do something. So yeah, I did it online and it was really good and I really enjoyed it. So if anyone's actually thinking of doing a yoga teacher training course, I would recommend. Just checking, can everyone hear me okay? So yeah, I found yoga really helpful, and so yeah, we're going to start into it. So we're going to start with seated positions, then we're going to move on to some kneeling positions. I'm going to change where my camera is for that, and then perfect. And then we're also going to do some standing positions. Then we're going to come back down and go do some lying down positions, so you can just relax after that. So yeah, we're going to start down in a comfortable seated position. You can sit cross-legged or whatever is comfortable for you. And you can just start by closing your eyes and you can relax your hands on your knees. And you can just notice your breath and the noises around you. Notice the inhales and the exhales. If you had a stressful day, it might be different than what your breath might normally be like. So after a few breaths, we're going to actually start trying to practice the Ujjayi Breath. If you're not comfortable with this, you can just stick with your natural breath. But for the Ujjayi Breath, we're going to close our mouths and we're going to take deep breaths through our nose, and we're going to contract the muscles in our throat, and it's going to kind of sound like a wave. So on the inhale, it'll sound like the build up for a wave, and then the exhale will sound like the wave crashing down onto the sea. It can also sound a bit like Darth Vader if that helps. So we'll do a few of these. Try and keep the inhale and the exhale equal to each other, and this is suitable for everybody. This is really good to just bring your attention back to the breath. If you're stressing out over anything, you can just bring your attention to the breath and it'll help ground you throughout your day. It's okay if your mind wanders a bit, but try and keep focus on the breath. We're going to do a few more. After your next exhale, you can bring your breath back to your natural resting breath. See has it changed after the Ujjayi breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, and we're going to start with some twists. So we're going to bring the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you on your mat. And we're going to start twisting to the right side. So start from the stomach and work your way up and just twist piece by piece. So just twist to your stomach, the chest, the shoulders, and lastly, look over your right shoulder. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. And to come out, we'll start from the top and work our way down. So bring the head, the shoulders, chest and stomach back to center, and bring your hands back to center. And again, we're going to do this to the other side. So bring the right hand to the left knee, and bring your left hand all the way behind you. We're going to start again from the bottom of the spine and work all the way up. So twist through the stomach, chest, the shoulders, the neck, and lastly, look over your left shoulder. And we'll stay here for a few breaths as well. And to come out, we'll start from the top of the spine. Bring the head, the shoulders, the chest and the stomach and the hands back to center. Okay, so now we're going to do some stretches to the sides. I'm going to move over a bit so you can see. And so we're going to bring the right hand to the mat beside us, and we're going to bring the left hand overhead. We're going to bend through the left arm and stretch to the right hand side. Try not to collapse down, just keep the arm strong. And try to create a straight line from the tip of your left fingers to your sitting bones. Remember to keep breathing. And come out, we're going to push through the right hand and bring the left hand back beside us. And we're going to do this to the other side, so I'm going to move this side. So bring the left hand beside you on the mat. Bring the right hand up beside your ear. We're going to bend through the left elbow and stretch to the left hand side. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. And to come out, we're going to straighten through the left arm and bring the right hand back beside us. So now we're going to do some circles with our shoulders. So bring your hands out to a T, and we're going to start by making small circles forward. Your arms are going to get heavy after a while, but it'll be okay. And now we're going to go to medium circles forward. And big circles forward. My shoulders will click when we're going back, but it's okay, it's been happening for a long time. So now we're going to go back. And medium circles back. You may be able to hear my shoulders, I'm not sure. And your arms should be getting heavy, and now we're going to get small circles back. And we're going to release the arms. And to release the tension from the shoulders, we're going to bring the shoulders up to the ears and with a big sigh we're going to let it out. We're going to do that twice more. Shoulders up to the ears, big sigh out. Another time, shoulders up to the ears, big sigh out. That should be feel a bit better. And now we're going to go into staff pose. Just reach the legs out in front of you. And my Disney socks are in. So I'll go this way. So you can keep your hands outside your body and just stay in like an L position. From here we're going to move into a forward fold. So just hinge through the hips and fold forward, and you can leave your hands wherever they land on your legs. Like if they land on your thighs, on your shins, on your feet, wherever's most comfortable. And we're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Don't worry about however far you get, it's all the same stretch, whatever's most comfortable for you. And to come out, we're going to walk the hands back either side. And now we're going to come to kneeling. So I'm going to move the camera so that you can see this better. Should be, so you can come on to hands and knees. I'm going to take off my socks because it's actually, it's easier if you take off your socks. Just for the grip. So if you come onto your hands and knees into tabletop pose, and we're going to do some cat-cow. So on an inhalation, bring your stomach down to the ground and you can look up. On an exhale, arch the spine and you can look down between your knees. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. And you can just follow your breath with this. We're going to come back to a neutral tabletop, and we're going to step our right foot in between our hands. And we're going to come into a low lunge. So you can either keep your foot on the ground like this, or you can tuck your toes under and you can lift your knee off the ground. So we're just here in low lunge. And obviously stay wherever is most comfortable for you, either knee on the ground or knee up in the air. Just going to stay here for a few breaths. Now we're going to do a low lunge twist, so keep your left hand on the ground and we're going to bring the right hand overhead into like a straight line so that you're in low lunge twist. And again, keep your knee on the ground or up in the air, and if this isn't comfortable for you, you can just stay in a low lunge. And remember to keep breathing. And come out, bring your right hand back to the ground and bring the knee back to the ground if it's up in the air. And we're going to come into a half splits. So just bring the hips back over the left knee and straighten the right knee, and you can keep your hands on the ground, and we're just going to stay in half splits. Breathe into the stretch on the back of the leg. And to come out, we're going to bend the right knee, and we're going to come back, place the hands onto the ground, step back into downward facing dog. And we're going to take a few breaths here as well. Now we're going to do everything again on the left side. So going to lift the left foot up into the air and place it in between the hands. And make sure you keep the knee over the ankle and don't bend it forward, as that may cause an injury. So yeah, you can either again keep the knee on the ground or lift it up into the air for low lunge. If you're comfortable, you can stay here, or you can come into low lunge twist, keeping the right hand on the ground and twisting to the left side. Bring the left hand overhead, and if you want, you can look up towards the left hand or straight ahead or down to your foot, whatever is most comfortable for you. And to come out, we're going to bring the left hand back to the ground. Bring the knee back if you had the knee in the air. And we're going to do half splits again on this side. So straightening the left leg and bringing the hips over the right knee. And just feeling the stretch on the back of the leg. And come out, straighten bend the left knee and lift the right leg up and step back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, bring your knees onto the ground and sit back onto your hips into child's pose. And we're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Just to relax a bit. And we can walk our hands back and we're going to come up to standing. So stand at the top of your mat, you can see there. And we're going to do sun salutations. So just start by bringing your feet together, toes together but heels apart. And keep your hands either side of your body. And just notice your breath. You can close your eyes. Notice the inhales and the exhales. On your next, you can open your eyes, and on your next inhalation, bring your hands overhead. If you're comfortable, you can arch your back. On an exhalation, dive forward and bring your hands either side of the feet. On inhalation, lift halfway up. I'll move back a bit so you can see. Lift halfway up. Inhale, fold forward and step back into plank pose. On an exhalation, knees, chest and chin to the ground. Slide forward and come up into cobra. On an exhalation, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. You can do your normal natural resting breaths, or you can do the Ujjayi breath. On your next exhalation, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift up. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, come all the way back up. Hands overhead and back into mountain pose. And we're going to do another sun salutation variation. So like that, but with a bit extra in there. So come back to mountain pose, feet together, toes together, heels apart, and just with your hands by your side. Again, notice your breath. And on an inhalation, bring your hands overhead. You can arch back if that's comfortable for you. Exhalation, dive forward. Bring your hands either side of the feet. Obviously, if you need to bend your knees, that's fine. Inhale, halfway lift up. Exhale, fold forward and step back into plank pose. On an exhalation, knees, chest and chin to the ground and slide forward. Come up into cobra. On an exhalation, we're going to lift our hips up and back into downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to do some variations. So you can step your right foot in between your hands and bring your left foot out a little bit and just to point towards the long end of the mat. Keep your hips towards the short edge of the mat and bring your hands overhead. Keep the right knee bent. So we're in warrior one on the right side. On an exhale, bring the hands either side of the right foot and step back into downward facing dog. On an exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift up. Exhale, fold forward. On an exhalation, step back into plank pose. Knees, chest and chin to the ground. And on an inhale, come up into cobra. On an exhalation, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. We're going to do warrior one on the other side. So bring your left foot in between your hands. Bring your right foot to face towards the long end of the mat. And come up to bring your hands overhead. Keep your left knee above the ankle. And if you feel comfortable, you can look up between the hands. On an exhale, bring your hands back to either side of your left foot and step back into downward facing dog. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. On an exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift up. Exhale, fold forward. And on an exhale, come all the way back up. Hands overhead and then back to heart center. You can close your eyes and just stand in mountain pose for a few breaths. Just to notice your breath after the 2 rounds of sun salutations. So from here, we're going to come to a wide leg stance. So you can bring your legs wide apart on the mat. And we're going to come into pyramid pose. So we're going to bring the hands out to a T. Bring the right foot to face the short edge of the mat, and you can bring the left foot in a little bit to face the long end of the mat. And try to keep your hips facing forward. So we're just going to bend over the right foot, pretend there's a wall behind you and try and stay in a straight line. And your right hand will land wherever it does on the leg. Don't worry, it's not about reaching the floor. And we're just going to breathe here. And to come out, we're just going to push through that hands and come back up. Bring the feet back center and release the arms. I'm going to do this to the other side, so I'll move over a bit. Bring the hands out to a T. Bring the left foot to face the short edge of the mat, right foot facing a little bit. And we're just going to bend over towards the left leg, creating a straight line on the left hand side, pyramid pose. Again, you can look straight ahead, up towards your hand, down towards your foot, whatever's most comfortable for you. And from here, we're going to bring the right hand down onto the ground. We're going to walk it in between our legs so that we're in a wide-legged forward fold. You can bring your feet to face towards the long end of the mat. And with your hands on the floor, you can walk your hands in between your feet so that you're in a deeper, wide leg stretch. Now just breathe here. And you can walk your feet in a bit if you want, or out, whatever is most comfortable for you. And to come out, we're going to walk our hands forward, bring them onto our hips, and we're going to walk toes, heels, until we're back to center. I'm just going to check the time, 27, okay. So from here, we're going to come down onto our backs. So just sit down on the ground and just lie down onto your back. So now we're standing. We're going to bring your hands up. I'm going to move this actually so you can see my. So we're going to come back down onto our backs and bring our arms out to a T position. And from here, on an inhalation, bring your legs to the right hand side. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale back to center. And just follow your breath with this. Next time you're going to the right, you can bring your head to look towards your left hand and back to center. And when your legs are going to the left, you can bring your head to look towards your right hand and back to center. Just follow your own breath. And next time you're coming up from the left, you can stay at center, bring your hands either side of your body, and you can either we're going to come into Shavasana, so you can either keep your legs bent or bring them out straight in front of you, whatever is most comfortable for you. So you can close your eyes, and we're just going to notice the effect the practice had on our body. Notice the breath. Has it changed since the beginning of the class? Notice the sounds around you. Notice the thoughts that are coming through your brain. Try not to engage with thoughts, but just acknowledge them. we're going to scan through the body. So notice the effect that the practice had on your right thumb, your right index finger, right middle finger, right ring finger, right pinky finger, the back of the right hand, palm of the right hand, right arm, right elbow, right shoulder, right side of the chest, right side of the waist, right side of the hip, right thigh, right knee, right shin, right ankle, right heel, right foot, right big toe, right second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Left foot, left heel, left ankle, left shin, left knee, left thigh, left side of the hip, left side of the waist, left side of the chest, the left shoulder, left arm, the left elbow, left palm of the hand, left back of the hand, left pinky finger, left ring finger, left middle finger, left index finger, left thumb, the neck, the head, ears, the nose, the mouth, the eyes. Notice the effect it had on your entire body. And we're going to bring some movement back into the fingers. Just move your fingers around, move your feet. Stretch your arms overhead. Stretch through your body. And keeping your eyes closed, we're going to bend through the knees and just hug your knees into your body and just rock from side to side. And keep your eyes closed and roll over onto one side. And just push up into a seated position. And we're going to rub the hands together to create warmth in the hands. And cup your hands over the eyes. And open the eyes into the warmth and darkness of the hands. And slowly separate the fingers to bring your awareness back to your surroundings. And I would like to thank you for practicing yoga with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing yoga today. Yoga's great. It's really benefited me throughout the 7 years I've been practicing. 8 years? Oh Jesus. Okay, wow. And it's really great for like distressing around exam times. So I'd really recommend it. Definitely attend as many classes as you can. It's great, and there's loads of resources online. Yoga with Adrian. All those kind of yoga classes are really great. Thanks so much, guys. It was lovely to teach you, and hopefully I see you guys again in the future. Bye.